Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Week 4, Episode 4, Jux, an All Things Sports podcast. Coming into what was a rough week of football for most, great week for others. And we'll go through it all with you, along with some other headlines. But first things first, we'll jump right into Thursday Night Football with our in house Steelers expert, Gnar.
In
Let's hear,
Haas.
let's hear about it.
Well, luckily for
Personal
you
feelings
guys,
first, and then statistical analysis.
luckily for you guys, it's Tuesday and not Thursday night because I was ready to go ballistic. Started off the game with Hambone personally targeting me for some reason. I think 2 plays in the game, he goes, I'm so grateful to know that the Lions could absolutely murder both of these teams. And coming from a Steelers fan that's been part of an organization that's had a winning season for basically my entire life, hearing that from a Lions fan, I didn't take kindly to it, and that just spelled cast for what was going to happen for the rest of the night. I didn't feel good. Mitch is bad. Najee's not good. Wide receivers are dropping balls. We don't
What
have
about
T.J. Watt.
George Pickens? What about that catch?
That was the only thing that was
Great
enjoyable in the
catch.
entire. That was it. I just searched Twitter for his memes, and that was the only good thing and enjoyable thing that came out of that game was a good Twitter night.
So you're saying you put a hex on week 1 at that moment, or on week 4, 3, 4, week 4 on that moment.
That was week 3.
You cursed week 3.
I think no, the Steelers they're not a good team. They curse themselves.
I thought you cursed it when Hammy came at you. You put the hex on the week.
Oh, it was just bad vibes from there on out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's your fault.
Yeah. No, it's Hammy's fault, basically.
Well, it's Hammy made it your fault. Yeah.
Correct. I didn't
Okay.
I didn't go into Zach's brain and say, "Hey, go at Gnar for no specific reason."
Fair
And
enough.
then it was a dog pile of like 12 Lions fans, a Jags fan, and then just me just looking at everybody's nut sacks at the bottom.
You relax now.
Great week for Jags fans.
When's Kenny starting? Now? I know
Probably
it wasn't Mitch's
half.
fault. It didn't feel like it.
No, I said this last week and I stick by it. It's not Mitch's fault. It's Matt Canada's fault and having an offensive line that can't create a run game. Their offensive line pass protection's decent. Myles Garrett wasn't even a story last week. Like he was a bigger story for the car accident he got in yesterday or today. I'm not sure which one it was.
Sprained his
Hopefully he's
shoulder.
okay though.
Life threatening.
Yeah.
No, he's not life threatening.
Nah.
Still not a good sign.
Oh yeah. Well, was it his fault?
Sounds pretty serious if the only description they use is non-life threat.
Was it his fault?
Apparently, there was an animal and he was swerved out of the way.
Oh, you gotta hit the animal.
That's a story I heard.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what animal.
It's
if
just
it's a dog, you gotta get out of the way, boop them,
insurance purposes. Now you're looking at fault collision.
Good stop.
All right, it's not an insurance podcast. Let's keep going.
So, end of the week, we had a teaser. I picked the Jags, took the points and some. I think it dropped to 2.5 before the game, but it was -6.5 when we recorded. They won by 28, so that part of the teaser hit quite easily. Gnar gave us the Texans, also hit. Another good game of the teaser. And after Gnar cursed the week, I'll shift the blame onto Train a little bit. With the Giants in the teaser, failed to hit.
Technically, this is all Train's fault because that was Tuesday, right? So I think we put it all on Train.
Yeah, I'll take it. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, they were winning most of the game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And then Cooper Rush, did his thing. There's a stat on him for like fourth quarter comebacks. It's kind of insane. Just what they came back. Is Pollard now the new running back? Is he taking over for Zeke officially?
I
He
think
definitely
so.
looked really good. Zeke had one pretty good run, touchdown.
Enough
I
for
think Pollard should
Kangas.
start. Yeah, not for Kang.
Yeah, Yeah, I could see that, and I hate to pile on Train, but give us some analysis on the Lions game too.
Well, I mostly just caught the second half of it, um, which is probably not the half I wanted to watch. Um, Lots of injuries. Uh, Tracy Walker out for the season, tore his Achilles. DeAndre Swift, um, don't know how long he's out for with that shoulder injury. Dan Campbell said he could be out until the bye week, just to save him up, which is a lot longer than I thought initially. Amon-Ra also kind of looked injured at the end of that game. His ankle, I think. So we went into this game knowing, oh, I thought we'd definitely lose. And then I got all this hope that the Lions fans get when the second half started. We lose on 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins. And now we're just hobbling into week 4, um, injured and playing against a team, the Seahawks, a team that I anticipated being awful, but are actually looking a little bit better. So I'm worried right now.
I'm looking at the box score right now, and the Lions again played one good half of football. It just didn't come in back-to-back quarters. They had a good quarter of number one and a good Q3. And then second quarter and fourth quarter, they gave up 14 points each. The other 2 quarters, they put a goose egg on the board.
How
I
about
need
those?
Dan to be more of less of a motivational speaker sometimes. I know that's got to be a part of the job, and he's got to get him pumped up, but his job is ultimately to clock management and strategy and sometimes play calling, like with um, when to go for it, when not to go for it. And he has made some bad choices this year has when it's counted. Last year it's very aggressive. We want to win no matter what. And this year it's kind of that same attitude, even though it doesn't need to be.
How about the Skull Vikes, Gnar? Despite a lack of production from Jay Jettas in the game.
Well, to be honest, that's all I care about because he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, but you had him going to the NFC Championship game, week 1.
I do because I think this offense can be pure electricity, and I got a top 15 maybe defense. About 2 days after I made that pick, I realized I just bet on Kirk Cousins to win like 3 primetime games back to back
Yeah.
if you get in the playoffs. So I'm pretty much fucked. And yeah, I lost a little bit of money already, I think.
Yeah, I think last time they were there it was Kellen Mond at quarterback, not Kirk. So, I mean,
How far did what's his name? Does Stephon Diggs catch?
How far was it?
was that?
Case Keenum. How
Oh,
far did
who
they
was
go
it
in the
from?
playoffs?
Oh,
It
that's
was
who I
Case
meant,
Keenum.
not Kellen Mond.
Yeah, it's Case Keenum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the year Bortles
Personally,
went to the AFC Championship too.
I just need him to throw Justin Jefferson 25 times a game. I don't care if they win
It's not
anymore.
happening though, but Okuda seemed to be a big reason. He seems to be popping. Lions fans
Happy with
finally
it.
seeing the Okuda that they might have been promised at 3. Probably still not even as dominant though.
He looks great.
Looks good though. Looks good. Another ugly game. Packers Bucks. Thoughts?
Well, everybody's been saying this for about 7 years, maybe. As a game passed Tom Brady by. He looks slow. He doesn't look happy. Every time he gets touched, he just looks. You can see in his eyes. He just wants to like shoot fire beams out. But I think a lot's going to change again as we go in the future. He's throwing to the blind, deaf, and impaired every down last week, and that won't be the same going forward. So, Packers, fuck them. They look good, and they got an easy schedule coming up, and everybody's going to be talking about Packers Super Bowl, and I'm going to hate it.
I hope so. I hope it's Aaron Jones' season coming up. That's the plan, at least. But yeah, I mean, it's just two old quarterbacks. I feel like facing off, steady games, solid Bucks defense. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is taking time to find his new favorite guy. And like you said, Tom Brady always turns it on late, and the Buccaneers are dealing with injuries and suspensions. I think Rodgers is getting to the point where he's starting to get a little bit comfortable again. Like you said, easy schedule comes up after that. And then you're right. It's all about, Packers struggled early, and now you can't stop them. And again, I think
Same story every year.
it'll be the same with the Bucks. Just happened to be this year where these two guys who both have like slow starts typically, especially as they're older. They're just facing off early in the season where both guys are slow and still figuring things out.
Yeah.
Trent, any thoughts on that game?
Other than like second half of the Lions and some red zone, didn't watch a whole lot of football. I was a little depressed after the game, and I think I mean it looks a little weird, right? 14-12. Tom Brady can't put up any more points. I mean, we've given him 3 weeks. Kirk Cousins could he did it. So, what's going on with Tom?
Give Tom.
I mean, he doesn't
JJ
have any
some-
wide receivers, and he threw it to Russell Gage. Russell Gage had 12 receptions.
Yeah, he went nuts.
I think he'll find it maybe once he gets his guys back. I hope. But if he isn't, or if he doesn't find it, it might actually be, just because he's getting old and with all the drama off of the NFL.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay offense has the same amount of touchdowns as Pittsburgh offense. That's fucking weird. Who would have bet on that? Everybody was expecting Steelers to be garbage time in the offense, which they are, and I'll admit it. But Tom Brady's on the same playing field, so we're not dead if he's not dead.
Yeah.
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 I suppose.
That was that was a lot of confidence ensued in me. Thanks, guys.
And on to the game that lost the teaser for us. Texans Bears. 23-20. Bears win. Justin Fields, 17 pass attempts, 2 interceptions. Is it a Justin Fields problem or is it a Chicago Bears problem?
I don't know. Maybe it's their play calling. They gave it to Khalil Herbert after David Montgomery got hurt. Also, fantasy owners, day to day is what I found. I put him in this week. David Montgomery, that is, and then Herbert gets all these carries. The Texans did cover for us. It was me. It was the Giants. And then
Thanks, Trent.
yeah, no problem. I think Bart wanted to hear it one more time. My Texans to win the division. I mean, as long shot of it was, I thought I kind of had a chance after the week 1 tie, but yeah, it's not looking too good. And the Bears have a better record than the Lions, so I'm not happy.
That's fair. When the Bears are winning, it's just not fun for anybody. Unless they're beating AFC South teams, then we'll take it. I was rooting for them. I'm sorry.
I think the funniest part of this is I don't even think Bears fans are happy with the 2-1 record they have.
Well, you got to be upset with Justin Fields, right?
You'd rather see Justin Fields throwing for 350 a game and losing in shootouts than winning games like that where Justin Fields doesn't look like the guy.
Imagine the score of that game if they have someone who doesn't throw 2 picks with 0 touchdowns, no passing tubs.
On 17 attempts, is that what you said?
17 attempts, yep.
8
That's
for
crazy.
17.
8 for
In
17.
today's NFL, and
8 for
there's a
17
team throwing.
with 100 yards. And they won 23-20. So
Sounds like a 1965 stat.
It's not sustainable, and you beat the Texans. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to be happy from that game, you got to beat up on them.
Yeah.
You're waiting for Justin Fields to pop, and it's not happening yet. And at a certain point, when do you prove the Ohio State can't produce pro quarterbacks? Rumor true.
He's asking the real questions now.
It's the guy who spent a lot of time at Georgia, came to Ohio State, and now in the NFL seems to be an awful product.
Yeah. I don't hate that take at all.
If Justin Fields has an awful year, does it hurt C.J. Stroud's draft value if he wins that? Say he wins the Heisman.
No, he's still going top 3 no matter what.
You think he produces in the NFL?
No. Ohio State.
I don't know. I think you need to see more from Fields by this point.
I don't have a lot of
got a new
football
coach.
IQ. I don't have a lot of football IQ, so I love takes like that where, he's an Ohio State quarterback. Might be a Heisman winner, but he's not doing shit in the NFL.
Yeah, it's so nice sitting on the couch and be like, when was the last good Ohio State quarterback? Like, imagine
One of my favorite thoughts on a Sunday.
Imagine being an NFL scout and you just come in the room and he's like, so what do you think about him? You're like, I don't know. When was the last time you saw a good quarterback from Ohio State? Your GM would be like, okay, what about his times? What were his combine stats? Didn't he win the Heisman? Yes, but he went to Ohio State, dude. I don't know. Okay. Name one.
It's like 17 case studies in the past. You got to trust the case studies.
Wide receivers, sure. Edge rushers, absolutely. Running backs, maybe sometimes, but quarterbacks, not one, dude. Not one. Titans, Raiders. Titans pull out a close one.
Raiders 0-3. Derek Carr, 300 yards passing. He threw it to Mac Hollins, 8 receptions, 158 yards, and a touchdown. Where's Devontae been in the last 2 weeks?
Not on my fantasy team.
Yeah, Bart did trade him away. Derrick Henry got the ball.
Yeah, finally
got the ball.
Finally saw Derrick Henry again.
It worked out for him. They finally won. I think that was their first win of the season. No.
Yes. Yep.
And look what happened. 20 carries. It's going to happen. It's going to wear down the defense.
Is it panic mode for the Raiders if you're a Raiders fan?
I think you were panicking last week.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
For the expectations they had, yes.
Yeah.
What's missing? What are they like? I don't know. Derek Carr's playing serviceable. They've got Devontae Adams. Should at least be distracting. Renfro's not really doing Renfro things as of late. But
he was hurt last week.
He was.
Past week.
Concussion. But yeah, I don't know.
I think they're just lacking the consistency. Similar to the Lions, right? They put together good stretches. They look like a team for a quarter and a half. Then all of a sudden they just fall off the face of the earth and are thinking about the Vegas strippers you're going to see later that night.
It's definitely makes it easier to overcome
Probably
like that when you get to go party in Vegas right after, regardless.
Win or lose, the boys are going out. You know that.
Another shocking game. Chiefs lose to the Colts 17-20.
Take it away, Gnar.
Patrick
Mahomes.
The
spread said it all. The spread said it all, right? Last week we were like, why is this game this close? This makes no sense. Trap game. Do we bet the Chiefs? Luckily, none of us did. Vegas knows more than we do. Yeah, Colts can't beat shitty teams, but apparently they can beat good teams. This one makes no sense to me. Don't understand any part of it.
Colts defense solid, or is Patrick Mahomes having trouble with a unfamiliar receiving core outside of Kelsey?
Maybe it's a little miscommunication between him and the offensive coordinator. We saw that at the end of the first half.
There was some Bieniemy slander. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of maybe beef. I don't know. They didn't look happy, and Mahomes he didn't call it a controversy or a scuffle, but he called it a disagreement or something like that. He's a very competitive guy. I think most people are. So when the coach isn't going to tell him, hey, go do this, I don't think we can do this. Let's just take it into half. He's gonna disagree. Most quarterbacks are gonna think about that. Maybe if they went for it, they would have won this game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Most NFL quarterbacks aren't going to want to come off the field. Sometimes it is the coach's job to be like, hey, but yeah, when it's Mahomes,
give him a shot anywhere you're at.
Let him call his favorite play. Yeah.
Are you still
Yeah, if
gonna
it's
trade
if
him
it's
away?
Mitch Trubisky, that makes complete sense. Get that motherfucker off the field, get that offensive line off the field, and kick the field goal.
Are you still gonna trade him away, Bark? In fantasy football?
I'm still thinking about it. There's some factors that I'm waiting on. Couple injury updates, seeing how the waivers play out, and then make a decision from there. You'll know by 3 p.m. tomorrow because that's when the trade expires. So I gotta either accept it by then or decline it. But I just 30 fantasy points in week 1, and then he puts out 2 mediocre quarterback games. I think he got me like 17 points each week, maybe a little bit less, which is fine. But it's not
Not
Patrick.
Mahomes.
It's not Mahomes' value. I'm getting Derek Carr back in that trade. Numbers wise, they've been identical the last 2 weeks, and it's not straight up. I'm getting a topper, but I don't want to mention the topper right now publicly until the trade goes through, because there's other factors riding on it on whether or not it happens.
I got a fun stat from this game. Guess the leading rusher from the Chiefs
The Chiefs. Mahomes.
against the Colts.
Isaiah
4 attempts,
Pacheco.
26 yards. Mahomes was the rushing leader for the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. Guess Clyde Edwards-Helaire rushing yards.
6.
7 rushes.
6.
0. But he had a touchdown, so it saves those fantasy owners. So
A little.
that's one of the most alarming things to me is Clyde. I do not trust his touchdown production, and he's been saved every single week thus far because of a touchdown. And that's just not sustainable. It's one thing you can never trust in fantasy.
Is the Colts defense good?
I mean, if you hold Patty Mahomes to 17, I'd say so.
But what about the Jags?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's interesting. No, I like to hear that. I think the Colts defense might be elite.
I think the Colts defense are Super Bowl caliber. There you
That
go,
says
Bach.
a lot about a 24-0 win against the Colts. Another upset. Bills lose to the Dolphins. Well, maybe not an upset the way the Dolphins are playing, but pretty sure it's a money line upset. Bills lose 21-19 to the Dolphins. Is Tua the real deal?
Well, he didn't throw it a lot this game from his stats I was looking at. Again, I'm basing a lot of this off of stats because I was not a whole lot of football was watched.
Yeah,
after
fair
this
enough.
game. Threw the ball 18 times, 13 of 18, 186 passing yards and 1 touchdown. A little different than his 6 touchdown game with 400 yards. Mainly kind of want to talk about the Bills here.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. Bills and the division itself.
What could make them the best team in the league by far? What's one more piece that they need, other than being fully healthy?
One of their running backs to pan out.
Yeah, is that it? Would they give them the ball if you had an elite running back? Josh Allen threw the ball 63 times.
Yeah, well, if they had like a nice speed guy, like a Raheem Mostert,
Healthy.
I think it could. Yeah, one that stays healthy, I think it could really open up that offense. And I think they've got 3 power backs and a couple receiving backs, but they just need a little elusive guy where you can slip a draw in there, or slip him a nice quick screen while you're running digs deep, and just let him run around in the field like a little maniac with the football.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to running game for this team. I mean, you look at their attempts at 8, 4, and 9, and Josh Allen had the most yards at 47. Singletary 9 attempts for 13 yards. Most Super Bowl teams can run the ball, and the Bills, outside their quarterback position, I don't know the last time they had over 50, 60 yards rushing. So that's the issue for sure. I don't know if it's the offensive line problem, not getting the push, or if it's a running back problem.
Are the Dolphins for real? They have a chance of the division?
Oh, yeah. You go back-to-back Ravens, Bills wins. How do you not call them real? And they've won in both ways. They won in a shootout, and they won in a grinded-out game against maybe the best quarterback in the NFL. Another fun stat: 40-minute time of possession for the Bills. That's probably 80% of the reason Josh Allen had as many throws as he did and Tua didn't, because Tua just didn't have the ball a lot. So I find it interesting they found ways to win in multiple fashions.
That's
Yeah.
right. I put it down here, and just from the stats alone, it looks like the Bills destroyed him.
Yeah.
I mean, gotta capitalize on when you get the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, clock management isn't just calling timeouts at the right time in the fourth quarter and near halftime. Good time management is all game long. It's time of possession, like you were saying, Nar. Most of the time, if you got the ball, you got time of possession advantage, that means you're controlling the game. There's probably not a correlation if direct or anything. It might be fairly random. I don't know. I don't have the stats to back it up. But if you got the time of possession, ball is literally in your hands. Sometimes people score quicker, and that's fine, but time of possession increase your odds of having it at the times when it matters.
Yeah, and you grind down the defense, but Dolphins defense was out in the heat all game long and held Josh 19 points.
Underrated coaching ability is time management.
Oh no, I know all about it, Mark. We need it.
Yeah, but those are the ones you notice. If you make the right calls in the fourth quarter, you don't even recognize the time of possession stats and making plays to just grind clock and make sure things pan out the right way. Then it makes it easier to call the game right in those situations.
Agree.
And Ravens were mentioned. Ravens got a dub against the Pats. Mac Jones shaken up. Are the Pats in trouble? Who are they bringing in?
I think they were in trouble before he got injured. Mac Jones hasn't been the guy that's going to go out and win games. He's a game manager. Very similar to Mitch Trubisky. I'm not, don't come at me. I'm not coming at you. I'm being honest. Pause. Bonk.
That's not a bonk.
If we put that line on a tweet, it's definitely a bonk.
I can't get bonked for that.
I'm not even going to say it. Never mind.
Say it. I didn't come at anyone.
I don't want to get bonked.
Say
it. No.
So the Pats need a quarterback that's not Mac Jones.
If they want to win in the future and get to where they were, yeah, he's not. I don't think he's the guy that's going to take them places.
#tank for Bryce Young.
I don't think the Patriots know how to tank, at least that far.
When was the last time the Pats had a number 1 overall pick? Never.
I don't know if the Steelers have.
Really, not even.
I'm gonna look that up.
Teams without a number 1 overall pick. I feel like the Patriots were just traded away.
Or get a center.
Yeah, or just draft a third-round talent offensive lineman, number 1 overall.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Well, Nar's pulling that up. I'll talk Lamar because I love talking Lamar.
Yeah, talk some Lamar while Nar's looking the stats up.
He wants some money, dude. He's balling out. He's getting me so many points in fantasy every week. I'm so happy I picked him. He got over 100 yards rushing. I don't know how much he's getting paid, dude.
Broke Mike Vick's record. Most 100-yard rushing games.
Awesome. Hopefully he keeps setting more records this season because he's my MVP pick. I know he's kind of a favorite at the beginning of the season. He was my MVP pick, and he's balling out right now. Mark Andrews, 13 targets as a tight end. Pretty cool. 2 touchdowns. And on the other side, we did see Ramondre Stevenson. Mark, I told you to draft him. He's going to ball out. I finally got the carries, and he's good. I think he's the better back in New England, and he showed it.
20 fantasy points.
Go.
On my bench.
Me too. But maybe he'll work himself in the starting lineup.
Gnar, what'd you find for us?
All right. You guys guess this was posted 5 years ago on Reddit, so
That's close
trust
enough.
with caution.
Definitely
Total of
not
3
Bible.
teams. Take your guess.
3 teams haven't had a number 1 pick.
Yep.
Uh,
It's not going to be who you think it is.
I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Eh.
49ers.
Nope. Each get one more. If you're right, you got to keep going. If you're wrong,
Packers.
no. Nope.
Patriots.
No. Broncos, Seahawks, and Ravens.
Broncos,
Oh, I almost
Seahawks,
said that.
Ravens.
And 5 years ago, apparently the Jags have never had a first overall pick, and they had back-to-back.
Yes, sir. Paid off.
So that's an interesting stat there for all the nerds out there.
Yeah.
I'll forget it.
I almost are ready for Ravens, Seahawks.
Broncos.
Shit. I forgot.
I forgot the third one already.
Jags.
No, not the Jags. They got 2. It was the Ravens,
Broncos.
the Seahawks, and the Broncos. Joe
I think the
Burrow.
rest of the games. Oh, go ahead.
Joe Burrow and the Bengals gonna win at the Jets.
What time?
Can't call them back till this Thursday, I think. It's the Jets.
The Jets Jets.
This Thursday night. First of all, might be one of the best games the NFL has this season for 2 reasons. Might be the best primetime game we get all year, and the uniform matchup possibilities that we're looking at is going to be very appealing to the eye, and I'm excited to just look at the colors.
We better get a good primetime game, dude.
Where's Jamar Chase been?
Or Joe Mixon, for that matter.
Yeah, but Joe Mixon always does this. Every year in fantasy, it's like, oh, don't sleep on Joe Mixon. He got injured last year, or he underperformed last year because of this. Then you draft him again, he underperforms again.
Yeah, fair enough. Fell in that trap, though.
It's
Gnar did draft him.
He popped last year.
Yeah, it's just sprinkle one in every other couple of years. Like, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go crazy this year. But it's been T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd show. More so Tyler Boyd lately. Jamar Chase, is he just getting blanketed now?
I'm never gonna watch a Bengals Jets game, so it's gotta happen.
I'm on train with this one. I watched it when it popped up on Red Zone, and that was
Why is Joe Flacco throwing the ball 52 times though? They just drafted a running back. They have 2 good running backs.
Yeah.
Maybe it was early. Maybe it was an early lead by the Bengals, and they were trying to fight their way back all game. But come on, 52 times Joe Flacco. You're not gonna. It's just not gonna.
I've got a weird NFL rig stat.
NFL rigged.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
Zach Wilson out 4 weeks to start the season, right?
Yep.
Joe Flacco's a backup quarterback for the New York Jets.
Yes, sir.
First 4 games for Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. You're telling me they didn't injure Zach Wilson just so we can have one more shot at all the division teams? Think about it.
Crazy. They played the whole AFC North.
Yes, they played 3 teams and they got Pittsburgh next week.
Oh.
The NFL's rigged. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely rigged.
And Zach Wilson's injury is only 4 weeks. Weird.
I'm very confused.
Joe Flacco was a Ravens quarterback, right?
Yes.
Who's in the Ravens division?
Super Bowl MVP.
Joe Flacco. Bengals, Browns, Steelers. And then the Ravens. He plays all 4 teams in the first 4 weeks of the NFL season, and then Zach Wilson comes back the week after.
So you think they gave him a little retirement tour against his own division?
100%. It's so obvious. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but like,
and I'm the only one talking about it.
Dude, if that's what the NFL is going to rig, that's kind of sweet.
Not for Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but so what, dude? He probably got some. If it's rigged, he probably got some kind of bonus or something for it.
Imagine if Zach Wilson's just fresh as fuck, like
At
he
least
doesn't
it's
feel
not-
any injury.
At least it's not like, oh, those were the 4 like least profitable lines for the sports books, so the NFL rigged it. They're like, no, we just wanted to let him say goodbye to his division. Like, oh, thanks NFL. You know?
You're scaring me.
I don't know. It's. I
How
just
did
think
you
it's
not
nice.
understand what he was saying, dude?
Right.
I'm not good. I'm not good with divisions.
Oh, okay. All right.
Those were just 4 teams to me, and I was like,
Not even for a Super Bowl MVP champion quarterback division.
no. I don't
Hmm.
care. I don't
Seemed like
care.
a big Joe Flacco guy.
I don't care about that division. Just Joe Flacco.
Okay.
Eagles Commanders 24-8. Jalen Hurts looks impressive again. Is Jalen Hurts for real, or is he at a week early schedule?
Relax.
Think about it.
Gnar, didn't you say Jalen Hurts was gonna fall off soon? From
I
from
think
what you were thinking.
not fall off. I think he's going to hit a slump. The
Is
second
it-
quarter, they had 24 points. That was it. They didn't score the rest of the game.
Well, the Lions put up quick points against the Commanders. I think the Commanders might be one of the worst teams in the league. Well, they definitely are. They could be the worst team in the league. Devonta Smith went crazy.
Animal.
He has probably more yards than Micah Parsons has sacks now, Bark. But
Yeah, now he does.
now he does. 2 great catches, back to back. Had a big game. How many points did he get?
It was like 150 yards in the first half, and then he got
Yeah,
like
30 fantasy.
Yeah, he went crazy.
yeah. The offense is explosive. Their offensive line,
And AJ Brown.
yeah, can't forget about him. Their offensive line is just maybe definitely like top 5 in the league. I'm thinking, and the Eagles looking good, so it makes me feel a little bit better about how the Lions played against them. So I'm just going to correlate most of my thoughts around the Lions. I think most people do around teams they do play. Like, oh, we beat this team, so we're probably better than this team when we're going to play. So that's how I feel about it. I think they can make a push. I think they're going to win the East, the NFC East, and get a pretty good seed in the playoffs. I mean, it's week 3, but looks great.
Yeah, the one thing the Eagles did well is they actually put a good team around a young quarterback. You know, when people get a young quarterback, they kind of just put all the pressure on him. And the Eagles put a first-round draft pick on his wide receiver, traded for a different one, has a great offensive line, and at least competent running back. I wouldn't say could go as far as say good, but I think their front office did a lot to maximize Jalen Hurts now instead of the future. So,
Which I really do respect. Get the guy and then commit to him, you know. They didn't
Yep.
bounce around their coaches a ton. I mean, Sirianni's pretty new, right? But not super new.
think two or 3 years.
And I think Hurts is getting comfortable. Obviously, a threat on the run. Quarterback contains big when you play him. And like you said, Miles Sanders is serviceable right now. You know, it's good enough when your quarterback's that mobile. But we'll see. Tough matchup coming up this weekend. We might see the Jalen Hurts fall off. I think.
I called it. I think it might happen, Mark. I don't know. I'm not calling my shot yet. I think they win this weekend, but Eagles might win this weekend. But I'm going to call this slide. Not sure yet. I could make it official before Sunday, just to be clear, but I'm not sure yet.
Panthers Saints, another rough, low-scoring, close game. 22-14, Panthers.
We might be able to skip this game.
I have zero input.
It's underwhelming.
CMC is good. He's good again. Jameis, what happened? Baker still sucks.
I do have one thing. My Rookie of the Year pick got off to a slow start, but back-to-back weeks with 13 targets, and the 2 other wide receivers went down. Just saying.
For
he
sure.
might pop.
He could pop. He could.
He did pop.
Kamara,
In London. He
Kamara
might be
needs to
popping
figure
in
things
London.
out. I think he just needs to shape up, get in shape. I don't know, refocus. He's on my fantasy team though, so I'll talk to him later. Get him hyped up. Yeah, Baker's rough. Another one of my fantasy members who struggled was DJ Moore.
Oh,
One
I
catch.
thought you owned Baker. I was like, what?
No, one catch for 2 yards. It's what are we doing? Every year it's DJ Moore's got a new quarterback. He's good. It hasn't been his fault. Maybe it is. Maybe DJ Moore's not good. Maybe it's time that we think about that. How many quarterbacks does a guy get before he's the problem?
He wasn't bad.
When? I don't.
Last year he was good for like half the season, and then he fell off.
At what point do you just maybe he's okay. Maybe he's not great. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to start him this week. I don't know if he's going to be.
I think you need a guy like Fitzmagic to go on the team. And if he's not good with him, they're like, all right, this guy sucks. He's the ultimate quarterback to like show if somebody's not good or not within like 3 weeks.
It's fair. We'll see how it goes. Panthers though get the dub. Tough game. Baker and limited turnovers. Following that, the big game of the weekend. 38-10 victory for the Jaguars over the Chargers. Incredible game to watch. I'm sure you guys didn't watch a ton of it. Sure, the Chargers are crippled. Joey Bosa got injured. Keenan Allen's been hurt. When isn't he? Justin Herbert's ribs are injured. Halfway through the game, he throws a bomb down the field, and everyone's like, oh, his ribs are injured? What a great throw that was. No, these are excuses after the fact. If you win that game, it's a whole different story. Injuries didn't matter. Jaguars came out and played. Trevor Lawrence looks like an MVP candidate. He looks like the number 1 overall pick he was last year. It's quite obvious Urban Meyer just destroyed whatever semblance of football players these guys had in that locker room last year. And now they have a competent, conservative, clock-managing coach who plays smart, safe football and utilizes our incredible quarterback to win football games. And not just win them, but dominate them. 38-10 against the Chargers, 24-0 against the Colts team that just beat the Chiefs and shut down Patrick Mahomes. 6 touchdowns and 1 pick through 3 weeks from Trevor Lawrence. Tough out-of-sync game week 1. They're coming in this week. They're demolishing the Eagles. Quarterback contain's going to be the one factor, but I'm telling you right now, Jags plus 6.5 is a no-brainer. They're winning by 14.
Oh, dude, you just got me ready to run through a fucking brick wall.
How long
I'm
have
on
you been
the
practicing that?
I was just going. I was zoned out. I don't know what.
Whoa.
I am officially on the Jags. Jalen Hurts is looking blind this weekend.
I'm telling you guys, if you got James Robinson, start him. You got Christian Kirk, start him. You don't have Trevor Lawrence, pick him up, start him. This is it. We're turning the corner. Dougie P. homecoming too. His statue's outside the fucking stadium. And he's going
I'm
to
on
play
the
in
Jags. I'm so on the Jags
Minus
now.
6.5. Get out of town. It's time to admit
Wow.
the Jags are for real.
Park is wearing a Blake Bortles jersey for everyone now.
Never forget. Yeah, this isn't a band. Well, it's semi bandwagon, but not really. I've been there through the hard times. Rams
Been there.
Cardinals.
More like you just didn't watch NFL.
Rams Cardinals. Kyler Murray had a double XP weekend night again.
Yeah, yeah, you said it.
Yeah,
threw the
Rams
ball a lot.
win. I mean,
This division's looking a little worse and worse every week we watch it, I think. How you guys feel about, I think, Bark, you predicted the Rams-Bills Super Bowl.
yes, sir.
Still feel confident?
Stafford's starting to scare me a little bit. He's still got that Stafford-esque in him, but he might be hitting that Matt Ryan age to him, where he might be a serviceable quarterback for a team. I don't know if he's got the mentality and willpower to lead a team to the Super Bowl again. I think there was a lot of motivation into that team last year that helped him get there too. And I think they just look a little bit deflated. I think Stafford is just kind of. I mean, he's not in his peak anymore. His peak was probably at the Lions. Um, the Rams got a good year of him starting his decline, though, I would imagine. Um, and I'm not saying he's bad. He managed the game well, no turnovers. But he's not an elite playmaker anymore in the pocket. And I think them relying on Cooper Kupp, just bulleting to him, will probably continue to give them some decent success. But I don't think they're going to be dominant enough to go back to a Super Bowl.
Only 4 receptions this week. Gnar for the Cardinals. When D Hop comes back, are we gonna see them start to win some games?
See, I don't get the D Hop hype. Last year, I don't remember D Hop being a awesome wide receiver that was dominating every game. Of course, he'd go up, catch a freakish ball every once in a while, but it's not like he was throwing up 12 receptions, 180 yards games. He was doing like 5 for 55. So I don't think he's a game changer. Everybody thinks he is. They got wide receivers making plays right now, and they're not even scoring any points. What's D Hop going to do that's different?
Yeah, I think D Hop's just kind of got that same thing. He's a legend we all remember. And you keep signing him, and you're like, it's D Hop, it's D Hop. Eventually he'll do something crazy, but you're losing a step. Guys are faster, guys are quicker. Different game than it was even 5-6 years ago. You're already seeing it. Less running, more passing. These receivers are getting worked a lot more. It's not as much beat a guy over top, one-on-one coverage. It's a lot more game management. But yeah, I think age is starting to show with some of our older stars in the game.
I think so too. Kind of similar to Julio. That's kind of the example I'm thinking of. But we'll see when he goes back.
That was a great way to put it. Julio and D Hop.
Falcons Seahawks. Cordell Patterson, right back to Cordell Patterson things. Fantasy, you keeping him, you trading him, you selling high. Is it just Cordell Patterson being Cordell Patterson again?
I'm a slut for trade, so I'd probably sell him high.
Seahawks defense too. I mean, I don't, it's not great.
Yeah, I think you keep them. I think their offense is scoring points every week. Kyle Pitts finally. All right, keep him in fantasy, and now we're going to talk their offense because Kyle Pitts finally got some looks. 5 receptions, 87 yards. They got Drake London. This offense is a little bit better than I thought with Mariota at quarterback. I mean, they're not doing very great, but they did win the game, and it was against the Seahawks. So hopefully, the Lions can beat the Seahawks. And it's just the Seahawks. All right, let's talk about them. Geno, 32 for 44, 325 passing yards. Lockett and DK actually are not that bad for your fantasy team. They're throwing the ball. They're getting it to him. I thought they'd be running with Penny and Kenneth Walker a little bit more, but they're not. They're slinging the ball with Geno. They're trusting in him, and they're doing a lot better than what I thought they'd be doing, even though they just lost to the Falcons.
Yeah.
Following up that great quarterback play. 11-10, Broncos 49ers.
Not looking at it.
Yeah, we can skip that.
What's going on with Russ? Can we at least talk about Russ here?
Yeah,
Forget the 49ers.
Yeah,
you got
talk
Jimmy
about
G.
your MVP.
Nobody really knows, but
I regret every part of what I said in the first episode.
He's got a new dangerous sub special at Subway. He's living life, but it looks gross. I watch Broncos football games. I feel like I need to take a shower right after.
2-1 too.
Hey, that's what I like. That's what makes it more gross because you kind of get out of there and you're like, wow, like they got to win that game. Like they're getting rewarded for this, And I think in Russell Wilson's little robotic, like, fake hand slaps on the way out mind, he's just like, he's a computer and he walks in, he's like, yeah, we got to win. Like, what was the score? I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
They told me we won when I got off the field. And like, oh, okay. They might win every game 11-10 and win a Super Bowl. I don't know. But I truly don't. I just think Russell Wilson is just almost a robot, so it's going to come down to coaching. And I think Nathaniel Hackett is like pulling on that string at a sock that he keeps pulling on. It's getting smaller. And he's either got to cut the string off, cut it out, or he's going to pull away the whole thing and it's going to unravel quickly. But I think Russell's actually giving him chances.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, say the one time in the game, prime time, all the lights are on you, Russ needs offense. That's exactly what he gave you, and he gave you the win.
Yeah.
So not Jags fans. Denver fans can boo him. They can do what they want, but if he wins, I'd be happy with 2-1.
Yeah, I am.
It's not always going to be a perfect fit right away.
I'd be way more happy.
Cortland Sutton's looking great. Running game's good.
I think it's coaching problems.
Yeah, I don't think they're dead yet. I think Russ is still a good quarterback, and I think they're going to start putting up points. My MVP vote's gone, done, throw it in the trash.
Cowboys Giants Monday Night Football.
The only thing I took away from this is I bet money on Zeke to score a tub because Kangas always gets lucky in fantasy.
Always gets lucky.
And I made money.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I needed 21 points from the Dallas D. It was looking okay for a bit until points started getting scored. It was a long shot, whatever. Congrats, Justin. 0-3 on the season. But we're turning the corner. We're turning the corner this week now. We turn things around. This is almost been the season, but.
For the record, I think Bark and I yesterday into the day shot maybe 35 trades back and forth with the same 3 players included every time.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some duplicates too, but it was just.
I think I shot the same trade 5 times.
Hash it out right now.
So we never ended up going with it.
You canceled it today.
Why?
I was
Rashad Bateman and Jeff Wilson Jr. for Juju and Keenan Allen was what I wanted finalized.
Yes, and I need a running back bad, which is why I was interested in taking it. I think Bateman and Juju. I think Bateman and Juju are roughly equal. I think Keenan's a tier above Jeff Wilson.
What was your trade offer back?
JK.
And you wanted T. Higgins.
But my trade
I took T. Higgins 3 picks after you took Keenan Allen. That's not an upgrade for me, I don't think.
My offer back was Keenan, Etienne, and Juju for Jeff Wilson and T. Higgins.
And I said
I think that's what I shot back.
I said no dice. I'm not giving up T. Higgins.
Bateman's intriguing because I got Lamar as quarterback, so I get a double dip. But
I'm taking a risk on a pulled hammy on an injury-prone receiver.
Yeah, both of you guys got to figure it out. It's you're both 0-3, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A punishment is
I think I've got
with a picture.
I've got a really good waiver order going through tonight. I'm hoping so.
Oh fuck! Wait, Bart, you got waiver wire 1.
Yeah, I do.
You're taking?
Who
are you taking?
I'm taking Khalil Herbert. I think you have to.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna take P. Ryan then in case Joe Mixon's injured.
Or we can start retalking trades again too.
Oh, I'm definitely retalking trades tomorrow to you once I see your waiver pickups.
Yeah, number 1 waiver priority. It had to be Khalil Herbert. How could it not be? I know it's tough, but I've got a sneaky waiver wire too, and then I'm going to evaluate from there. I won't reveal my second one.
I think I know who your second one is.
I don't think he'll be there, but we'll see. If you think it's Trevor Lawrence, it's not.
Is it Doubs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't think he was going to get through all 10. Everyone else has Twitter too.
Right.
But yeah, it's got to be Khalil
Fuck,
Herbert,
man.
150 yards, 2 tubs. If anything, even if Montgomery is healthy, how do you not run back Herbert a little bit more? And they split carries in the first half, and by the time the second half rolled around, the Bears were like, "Yup, that's our guy."
Bash him, yeah.
Yeah, so Jeff Wilson's projected 15.1. Also on my bench, I'll have Khalil Herbert tomorrow. We can revisit negotiations because
I'm definitely going to revisit that time for
I've
sure.
got running backs now. Hell, maybe
I
we could
need
even
one
talk J.K.
so bad.
Dobbins. I don't know. Because I got Aaron Jones
Yeah.
and Kamara sitting there. Do I really need 3 prime running backs? When
No, you
Dobbins
don't.
comes back and is incredible. Baseball. Well, we got a little bit of time left. Aaron Judge approaching 61. 6 straight games without a home run now. A little bit of the yips. I'd imagine I'd have the same. It's tough. People were talking about college football. They're watching their games. They were cutting to the Yankees game to show every Aaron Judge at bat. Professional sports is under pressure enough, but when you're sitting there in the batter's box for one at bat and you know you're being broadcast on millions of, yeah, you're everywhere. Regardless of who's watching, outside of just the people at the game, everyone's interrupting to watch the broadcast of you. That's a lot of pressure. I think he'll hit one. I think when he hits 61, I think 62 will be almost immediately after. It's going to be like breaking that ice. Like, there's one, he goes, oh, yeah, that's what I do. And then 62 goes out. Barry Bonds is still the home run king. Steroids are not. Put him in the Hall of Fame. Sorry, I'll stand by it. It happened. You can't say it didn't. It happened. They let it happen. It's a record. It's a record. That being said, I'd love Aaron Judge to break it. I hope he does. I think he will. Kudos on him for betting on himself too. Everyone should bet on themselves. I don't remember exactly the years on it, but 230 million combined. Guy's gonna get 400 mil guaranteed at least after this season. So good for him. I love an Aaron Judge revenge tour. I don't particularly like the Yankees. Wouldn't even call myself a huge Aaron Judge fan, but bet on yourself. Go set the home run record, right? What other way to do it?
No?
Outside of that, Tigers got their new president of baseball operations. We might have touched on it last week really quick. A lot of people like him. I really like him. Sounds like the owner is going to be really hands off, and unless it's a $300 million contract, he's got a little bit of financial leeway. Be ready for an exciting offseason, boys. I think he said he's going to make a lot of moves, high risk. So we'll see how it goes. And preseason hockey starting up. Go Wings. Eventually, we'll see our resident expert Ham join the podcast with some Wings hockey.
That'll be all him.
Upcoming week of games, boys. What are we thinking? Week 4.
Yeah. Train, you want to lead it off?
What are we thinking?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you mine right now. I'm ready.
Go ahead.
I got the Packers. Teaser, right?
Yeah, teaser.
Yes,
We can
I'll
do a
take
little
Packers.
extra
I'll
time.
take Packers minus 4.5. That's mine.
You want to go, Cole, or you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Falcons. They're plus 1.5. Throw them in the teaser against the Browns in Atlanta. I understand, guys. I know what I'm asking for here. Betting on the Falcons. Not something you necessarily want to do. They'll probably be winning by a lot, and it's going to be really stressful. But like you guys were saying, I think the offense is good. Defense might be bad, but I'm not sure that the Browns' offense is that good right now. So I like the Falcons plus 1.5. I think they might get some big plays, big scores, and sneak one out.
Based off a historical basis, we couldn't bet on a more disgusting parlay last week with the Houston Giants and the Jags. That was gross.
2 of them
Right.
hit.
It was close. I liked a couple, but I'll share the couple that I liked, but then I'll give you the teaser. I like the Vikings in London against the Saints. Saints haven't looked great. and I definitely couldn't put this in the teaser. Jets +3 against Gnar, and only Gnar. But I like the Cardinals. I know we threw it in the chat. We threw it in the chat. The Panthers.
Is it double XP weekend?
They're winning. They're winning this game.
Why are the Panthers -1.5?
Well, it was 2.5 earlier. What is
Panthers
that?
are -1.5 right now.
I'll
Off
still
CBS.
take the Cards. I'll still take the
Oh, dude, that makes no sense. Vegas knows something.
I know something.
Okay.
All right.
There it is.
We got time for a TD score parlay.
Yeah, go for
Packers. Garrett Wilson.
Against you, Gnar? That was so fast.
Just every good wide receiver the Steelers play, you can almost bet on their best wide receiver or best running back scoring. So take Breece Hall or Garrett Wilson. Who do you guys want? Who do you want more?
Garrett Wilson.
Because one of them's scoring.
Garrett Wilson.
All right, there you go.
I'm gonna go Jamal from Detroit.
Yeah, it's a great pick. I love that.
Great pick.
That might be like -180.
Yeah, it'll help. It's parlay.
Garrett Wilson might have a little bit of juice.
Yeah, that's fine. Never hated that.
I think
I love plus signs.
I think I'm gonna take Mark Andrews. No, I can't. I'm playing against him in fantasy.
No, what? No.
No, I can't.
Almost more
score.
That's even better to do it.
No.
You get fucked,
Mark Andrews isn't gonna get a
hedge.
touchdown.
Yeah, it's a hedge.
I'm gonna do Drake London Falcons.
Big
rookies.
Give me some odds.
Train, you might have to pick a rookie.
No, I like Jamal Williams is the safe one in there, dude. Jamal Williams is the one that can hit, and then we'll just be like, all right, just Drake London and Garrett Wilson left.
Right.
What we got for these odds? Okay. Who did you like, Gnar?
Garrett Wilson.
The spread?
Oh.
Okay. The teaser's going to be like +160. What did you liked?
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Drake
London, Jamal Williams.
Okay, so we can't bet on it yet, at least in DraftKings. So we'll put it out on Twitter or something and see what the odds look like.
Ooh.
The teasers.
Live update on the no-run first inning. Maybe. Also, no. 1 for 2. Phillies, Cubs, no runs. Marlins put up a 2 spot in the first on the Mets.
Yeah.
But that's great. Go Braves. They're coming to win the division. They're going back to the World Series. Hoorah, Braves. Michael Harris, 2 RBI triple. They're winning tonight. Mets lose. Braves for the ship. Anything else to close, guys?
No, I think that's the best way to put the show tonight.
Go Blue. Blake Corum. 250 yards rushing.
It's calm.
We beat Maryland. That's all.
A big lump with knobs. It's got the juice. It's calm. Fisted. See y'all next week.